Hello, everybody, and welcome once again to my next blog post. My name is Alan Shisco. I'm a motion graphics artist. Today what I'm going to do is just give you a quick little overview on a project that I've designed, not for a commercial client. This I actually designed as an After Effects project that you can purchase. You can actually buy this thing and play around with it. It's through RevoStock. If you go to the original blog post there, you'll see the link to it and everything. So what I'd like to do is just give you a quick overview of how this is all put together here, and also give you a little explanation on how you can create a nice little robot arm in After Effects. Okay, it utilizes parenting, which we'll get to right now. All right. So what happens when you open up the project, if you do decide that this is something you'd like to purchase, is the first thing you're going to see is pick materials. Okay, there's a little window that I made. Now, part of what I set out to do when I was designing this project is I wanted to make it so that you, as the user, could avoid having to go up into the effect control window. I mean, you can't even see it, right? We're not going to play with the effect control window here. We're not even going to be playing around with any keyframes or anything. What I did was using the magic of expressions, is I tied everything together so that basically what I've done is I've made After Effects into a graphical user interface. Okay, I'll show you what I mean here. When you go to the Pick Material screen here, all you got to do is click, okay, and drag and, well, point at whatever material you want. Right now it's pointing at the steel girders, right? Click and drag. There's the glass ones. There's plain white, and we got sort of a metallic thing there, and wood, right? Just click and drag. It's that easy. Slightly different for choosing the frame. I mean, you can mix and match your materials, right? You can choose to have wood if you want, right? With a metallic arm there. You can mix and match. You can put a whole bunch of materials together just like that. And, this is, if it's an X, well, it's not in use. If it's a check mark, a green check mark, it is in use. So anyway, all that is tied together with a whole bunch of weird expressions that plays around with the opacity of layers and stuff like that. And when you make these changes, when you make these choices, then it affects everything downstream. Everything further along in the project is automatically changed. Okay, you see we've made a new choice here, and there you go. I mean, it's that easy. So next thing that you do is you go to the content page. Okay, this is just a pre-comp, and you can put whatever you want in here. I've got a little bit of text here like that. You can put in pictures, video, anything. It's all, whatever you'd like. So the next one is the one that we're going to be looking at, though. This is the positioned one right here. Okay. Now, when you click on this, the first thing you're going to see is a whole bunch of buttons and text and stuff. The text you don't have to worry about. That's just describing what you do to change things. But I don't even think you really need to read that because, again, I've designed this so that everything is a GUI. It's a graphical interface. I'll show you what I mean. I'm going to get rid of all this stuff. I don't even need to see any of that stuff because everything is going to be done, on screen. Okay. So let's do it. Whoops, I zoomed in there a little bit. There we go. So all you got to do is you click and drag. Okay, here's the little movement widget. And, well, yeah, that's good. It's going off screen. I want it to be smaller. Scale. Okay, look at that. You click and you drag, and you can move it around a little bit. Okay, that's pretty cool, right? Let's just go to let's go to half res here. And we'll do a little preview to see what it looks like. Okay, do a little RAM preview, and you can see that, it looks like a robot arm, right? It sort of moves up and moves out of the way, okay? Now, what I set out to do here was, how can I make this so that you can change the behavior of this movement interactively and without having to go to any of the, keyframes or effect control windows or sliders or anything like that. And again, I've tied it all together with expressions so that we have these three little buttons here. Pretty self-explanatory. Duration of the swing, longer or shorter. Size of the swing, small, big. Velocity, slow or fast. All right, let's make it really fast and really long and really big and see what happens. Okay, there we go. Just like that. You want to make it small, but keep all that stuff. Okay, size of the swing is small. There we go. You can see it kind of bouncing around, and it's long, and the velocity is fast. So that's pretty cool, eh? I think so. Use your imagination where you're going to use this little widget here. You can use it as a lower third. You can composite it over footage. You can make galleries out of it. You can do it full screen, and I don't know, it's a whole bunch of things you can do with this. I think it's pretty flexible. So how do we make the robot arms? Okay. Now, I don't know if you've ever played around with parenting, but it is possible to make a really nice, convincing little robot arm just with a simple parenting. Let's take a look at the project file here. So, give myself a little bit of space here. And if we look down here, there's 4 things that we want to concentrate on, right? We've got one arm here. Let me just zoom in a little bit. We've got one arm here. I'll turn all those off, actually, so we can see what the heck we're looking at. Where did it go? There we go. So we've got one arm here, another arm here, another arm here, and then this frame that we created, right? So if we take a look at it here, we've got this right here, which is the first arm. Okay, now I'm going to show a column here. I'm going to bring up parenting. Okay, there we go. And you can see that right now arm 2 is parented to, well, nothing, right? Because this is the first arm in the chain. Now, I should point out here that this is not IK. It's not inverse kinematics. That's something completely different. What I'm doing here is I'm driving the movement of all this based on the first arm that we have here. With IK, what you do is you drive the movement based on the last element, which in this case would be the frame. Okay, well, let's keep our fingers crossed. Hopefully After Effects will have IK one of these days. It doesn't right now, so we got to go with the parenting and cheat it a little bit. So, first arm. Now, the key when you're setting this up on your side is the anchor point. Okay. Usually, when you've got a layer, your anchor point is right in the center here. But what you want to do is you want to set your anchor point at the joint. Okay, the joint of the layer, and you can see it's down here because obviously I want everything to rotate around this position right here. If I go to the next arm, this one over here, and select it, you can see same thing. The joint, the anchor point is up at the joint on the top here. Same thing here. Okay, sorry, the third arm. There we go, right there. And finally, with the frame up here, you can see it's connecting up here, and so the frame is right there for the anchor point. Okay, now what you do is you set up the position of your arm, you take your next one here, okay, you position it so that's exactly where you want it, right? You got the joint right where you want it, and then you go over here and you tell it that you want to parent it to arm 2. Okay, a little confusing naming, but you bear with me here. You want to parent it to arm 2. Okay, so this one here is parented to this one. Wherever this one rotates or moves, this one will do the same thing. The next arm right here, same thing, except that's parented to this arm. Okay, so everything that this arm does is going to affect this one, and same thing finally with the frame. Anything that this one does is going to affect this one, right? So if this rotates, they all rotate. If this one rotates, these two rotate. If this one rotates, this one rotates. Okay, and when you do that, when you tie it all together like that, I won't get into the specifics, but I've basically used a whole bunch of expressions to whoopsie, EE, bring up expressions, to play around with the position, the scale. Okay, that's how I made it bigger or smaller. The orientation. Okay, that's the part of the rotation, and also the Z rotation of these arms. So if this rotates, everything does. It's all tied together. I've used these fancy expressions here to make it all interactive and everything, so you can get different characters to the bounces, and there you go. So at the end, you just go into your render one here. You click on that, and you can render out to an alpha channel. Or at this point, you could put your own footage below it or whatever you want. Render to an alpha channel, bring it into your editor, and you've got a really cool little motion widget thing that you can use for all sorts of stuff. I guess the only other thing I'd point out is that the actual project that I designed, it's not just in the lower left. It's got one arm in the lower left and the upper left and the upper right and the lower right, and then you can sort of position it exactly where you want it. So there you go. Parenting will make you a little robot arm. A little bit of creative use of some expressions to tie it all together, some more expressions to play around with the character of your robot arms, and you're all set. So I hope that was a nice, interesting little overview of it. Thanks again for watching. Well, I guess what I'd say at this point is domo arigato. If you're interested in purchasing this project, do take a look at the link of the blog post. You can go and pick it up at Revostock. And thanks again for watching, and I will talk to you next time.